If you're tired of dating the same guy with a different face, then you are in the right place. Why? Because I'm going to share with you how to let go of these toxic relationships and let real love in. And if you want more videos on how to take charge of your love life, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell and I'll get it to you right away. Love has a way of attaching some of us to people who wound us. If you're watching this right now because you keep attracting people that wound your heart, then I want you to know you're not alone. Most people that grow up with a history of dysfunctional relationships don't realize a lot of their programming came from childhood by either their parents or their environment to believe this is how the world works. But some people weren't raised by their parents, so there are other influences and environments that impact their childhood programming. Children trust adults. They listen to them. They absorb all the information from their parents, thinking that this is the way they should live. And even though it might not be, someone's family of origin can deliver the most toxic messages, and that person will believe it as the most well-intentioned advice that they've ever heard. Unfortunately, this shapes who that person will become and can tremendously affect their love life. I've worked with singles that have witnessed abuse or have been muted by their parents from expressing their true feelings or emotions. These unhealed traumas kept them attaching themselves to dysfunctional relationships that were familiar with that behavior. Now, when these children grow up to become adults, because of the unhealed trauma, they end up gravitating to a person that triggers and treats them the same way as their dysfunctional parents or environment. We're talking about love bombing, gaslighting, stonewalling, narcissistic abuse, or any type of abuse out there. These singles hang on to the relationship because they think they can change a person. Unfortunately, toxic people will never love you. Why? Because they thrive on control. They thrive on breaking you down into a small, manageable person so that you can follow what they need. And they don't care. They don't have empathy for people. They lack concern of how they impact people as long as they get their needs and wants met. These type of abusers will make snide comments. They will judge you. They will break your confidence. They will oppress you. Whatever it takes to keep you in your place, much like a piece of furniture. By the time people from dysfunctional backgrounds become adults, they tend to internalize the voice and use that negative voice to self-parent and constantly do harm to themselves. It usually starts with self-shaming, saying statements that are really breaking to their confidence. Saying things like, I'm too dysfunctional to be loved, or I'm not worthy for love, or love will not happen for me, it will happen for everyone else, or it's desperate to want love, and I'm not good enough to get the love I want. By the way, sometimes we don't say this out loud, but we do say it through our actions, through settling for a relationship that we know that was a toxic one, or trying to change or rescue someone, or dating somebody you know that isn't right for you, but keep on trying to make it work. If you say it enough, you'll start believing it and find partners to validate your beliefs. Science has shown through repetitive action that we can actually reprogram our beliefs about ourselves and our environment. So what somebody says repeatedly to themselves literally becomes a pattern. If you want to stop being in toxic relationships and find real love, then we have to get rid of those negative thought patterns and use the same practice to your advantage. In order for us to find a loving partner, we have to change our personal narrative and speak to ourselves as we would to somebody that we loved unconditionally and supported unconditionally. What does that sound like? Well, in these bouts of insecure moments, I want you to say positive statements in present tense. Statements like, I'm worthy of love, my past makes me wiser. I deserve to be loved and loved unconditionally. And it's okay to ask for help. It makes me stronger, not weak, and courageous. Do this practice for at least 60 days. Do it in front of a mirror if you can too. The more repetitive action you create with these beliefs and thoughts, it'll change the way you think. And it'll also change the way you show up in the world and your attitude. A lot of singles I work with tell me that they become way more approachable. People are smiling back at them and they're getting hit on for the first time in their life. So why not try this, right? And I know some of you are saying, well, Amie, this, doesn't feel right to me. It feels really uncomfortable saying these things. I feel like I'm full of myself and I was taught to be, have a lot of humility. Well, I'll share this with you. For those of us that came from a home with dysfunction, we were broken down so much that we have an empty bucket of self. We really haven't even got self full, right? So when you're fulfilled with joy, everyone around you benefits from it. Isn't that a good thing? As you move forward in a good and healthy relationship, your partner wants to see you grow. They want to help you grow and bring out the best in you, just like you would do for them. Now, in your darkest hours, in those moments where you have bouts of insecurity, your partner's not going to run away, push you away. The healthy, good partner you want is one that supports you and helps you through your mess and to get out to the other end, right? This is what partnership is about. This should be a requirement for anybody that is a contender of your heart. Remember, it's not the words that they say, it's the actions and what they show you. And if they're not showing you a loving and supportive partner, then it's time to move on. And if you're struggling with dating and getting the same guy with a different face, you want to break those toxic patterns and you can't do it alone. That's what I'm here for. I'll help you. Go to amiethedatingcoach.com, book a free relationship readiness review, and let's talk about how we can stop this toxic pattern. Otherwise, leave comments, questions below. I do respond, and I thank you so much for joining me in this video. I'll see you in the next one.